It's great to be here. Thanks, Anita. Thanks, Prem. As usual, they put up a brilliant show, guys. So, I'm sure since morning you have heard a lot of speakers who've told you, how India में पैसे बनेंगे, पहले जितने बने उससे ज़्यादा बनेंगे. But my topic is alpha generating strategies. So I thought let's keep it quite interactive because all data points that you guys know, you already know what's the bull case for India. But today, what I'm here to, share and discuss and take, use this platform as a means of interacting with you and sharing thoughts is that India में कुछ change हुआ है, and maybe if we are looking at the future with the lens of the past, it is like, trying to project returns looking in the rear view mirror. Uski वजह से people are slightly getting caught off in the fact कि oh markets have done 20% plus CAGR in the last 3 years, so therefore आगे और return बनेगा कि नहीं. Then there's this whole question that we need to shift more to large caps. I think the truth lies somewhere differently because India as a growth engine, to our mind, I think something has materially changed. And that's the reason why when you're talking of topics like alpha generating strategies, well, I'm sure you guys have helped all your investors in generating wealth, fulfilling their investment objectives over the last so many years. But it is not that because they were in equity they made money, or because they were in debt, or they were in private credit or whatever. It is because India is happening. It is because people around you, you and me, our clients, our partners, I think all of us are wanting to make a better lives. All of us are wanting to make a better future for ourselves, our children. And mind you, there are a lot many of us. Because today, if you see, the best thing that is working for India is population and productivity. And mind you, this will be in play at least for the next half a decade to the next decade. Till the time, 65% of our population sort of remains in the working class. Till that time, I think ye rahega. So therefore, if you are looking at how the future will be, don't make the mistake of looking at it in the rearview mirror. Because earlier, markets have never seen earnings growth which has sustained and perhaps may trend higher as time passes. So, we all have been, we've been instrumental in getting our clients to be able to look at new products, better products. But somewhere I think we need to step back. And here I would like to remind the gathering here that, Steve Jobs made a very fantastic statement and he made it quite famous. He said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. So today, if you see, the alternate industry has grown 7 lakh crores, give or take, growing at about 20-22%. The reason is because India is home to almost 870,000 $1 million or USD dollar millionaires, which means people with net worth or investable, investable ability of more than 7.5 or right now 8.5 crores. Now this number is expected to grow at 22%, which means that I think in the next 5 years, you'll probably double. So if you look at these guys are perhaps the best takers and consumers for all the alternate products, which today doesn't get talked about too much because simply, the larger headlines is all due to the MF space, the 65 lakh crores, the entire, savings culture that has now come into India. But what we are interested in is that I think simplification or simplicity still remains the best way to generate returns. And for us, if you look at the way at Aditya Birla Alternates, the way we manage money is, we are open to everything that happens. So a debt AIF, a real estate, a private credit, all that is fine. PMS, AIFs, but the point is, we like to do the basics right. So which means, kahan jo karna hai, that is open. Kya nahi karna hai, we are more focused there. So therefore, there are certain do's and don'ts that we stick to. All our portfolios, at least on the equity side in the PMS AIF, you will find we stick to certain tenets. Beta कम होना चाहिए, portfolio churn बहुत कम होना चाहिए, और up to thankfully after the budget, the taxation has ensured that there is a material disadvantage in churning more, because the common norm is कि return कमाने के लिए आपको churn करना पड़ेगा और आपको risk लेना पड़ेगा. We don't subscribe to that notion. And now we have products which have actually maintained and delivered the track record of not taking too much of risk, but at the same time delivering adequate return. So therefore, what we do is we keep beta less than 1, we keep churn less than 0.5. All our portfolios have a stated overlap of not more than 20%, which means none of our schemes, we run about 5 schemes on the PMS platform, 3 on the AIFs, none of them will have an overlap of more than 20%, which means if we have to populate the portfolio, we have to show the people the skills as a money manager that we can pick up good companies, good businesses, and we can hold them. The idea of making money is that you need to buy a good business and then just sit, because if it compounds, because India will, and the reason is not because India में कोई flow आ रहा है या FI आ रहा है या domestic के पास पैसे हैं, all that is true, but India will happen because an aspirational population is a national asset. ये लाइन याद रखना, और वो इंडिया में अभी नहीं अगले 5-10 साल तक होगा. And on the backbone of productivity, mind you, we are the most tech-savvy population in the world, because thanks to the entire digital public infrastructure that has been created, we guys, our entire country consumes technology quite seamlessly, and hence we can, create a situation whereby you will be able to generate a lot of efficiencies which can give you scope for combinatorial innovation. Now this is what can change fortunes for India. So इसीलिए earnings growth India में आएगी. हम लोग सब सोच रहे हैं अच्छा बाजार गिरेगा तो लेंगे, which means what? Everybody is under committed. If everyone is under committed, I don't think markets will give you a massive correction. So therefore, there is an overlying flow of money, because obviously nobody wants a 7-8% of fixed deposit returns. That's the reason why equity is the trade, because people can look at generating a reasonable positive real rate of return over a sustainable period of time and let compounding work. So that's where do the basics right. So you create a portfolio which is low peg, which means you don't buy hope or you don't pay for it today. You buy low churn, you buy low beta. These are things that you must do. So आप कुछ भी कीजिए, I think ये सब don't let go of these things. Don't get into high beta, don't do high churn, don't do very high pegs, because typically when a market has done 22-23% over the last 3 years, it becomes something like the 2004 to 2007 market, perfect stock pickers market, which means good businesses which deliver will make fantastic returns. And I think we are probably back to that same period. So India will happen. It is just that we need to be able to, participate in that story, stay invested, and if you want कि, risk लेके ही return आता है, I think that notion is completely, bunkum, because most of our portfolios, we are very clearly risk managers. We don't do, high churn, high beta investing, because, return कमाने के और भी बहुत तरीके हैं, and thankfully India is a fantastic breadth market. So you have a lot of companies to choose from, great businesses, fantastic promoters. So I think the investing cycle in India will now materially change. So people who are looking at, letting compounding work for them, the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, let me tell you, for Alpha generation, they don't need you to tell them whether it is equity or anything else. They know it is equity. Within equity, where I think now us as managers, as partners, the thing is we need to be able to handhold them so that accidents don't occur. Because typically when the markets undergo such a long or a rewarding run, there seems to be some fault lines that develop, some, shall I say, overvaluations exist. But then it is then our job as people who are intermediaries, as money managers, that we manage the risk appropriately. And if we do that, returns will come. And I think if you want to know whether how can you generate returns without taking too much of risk, without having a high beta, high churn portfolio, I'm sure Aditya Birla asset management people are around there. Please get in touch with them. They will let you know how you can run products not only in the flexi cap, small and mid cap space, but the idea is buy good businesses with a long opportunity canvas, non-linear growth outcomes, and then just sit tight. So guys, I think this is what I wanted to share, that it is not about कहाँ पैसे बनेंगे, it is about बाजार में पैसे लगाने से ही पैसे बनेंगे. I think that is what, and I don't think that time is far away, that very soon India will make a strong case to becoming an independent asset class. Because if you see, within the EM basket or even within the developed world, I think the whole concoction of sustainable growth for a long period of time, driven by two very strong factors like population and productivity, I think in सबका समावेश बहुत कम जगह मिलता है. It is once in a decade kind of a situation for India. So the answer is, let's grab it and then let's get as many people into the markets as possible. Thank you.